morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and I'm here today with Eitan, and we are discussing the insidious nature of self-doubt. And in a time where there's so much input and content we consume and media that we receive all day long, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to stay steady internally, to be grounded, to be rooted in spiritual connection. And we could be talking about this idea 50 years ago. This week's energy, media or no media, is encouraging us to realign with our true power, to believe in ourselves, to believe in the intrinsic light within each and every one of us, and to root out the different ways that self-doubt shows up in each one of us individually. We have the support of the universe, the energy, the light around us and within us is going to show us all the ways this week in which self-doubt is harmful. We also, in that energy, have the antidote, how to eliminate self-doubt from its root, from its core, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do so by gleaning through the teachings of Kabbalah and extracting wisdom and tools that are not only going to help you get the most out of the coming week, but these are wisdom and tools that you can use any week of the year, any year of your life. So Eitan, it's a big topic. I don't think any of us are immune to the pitfalls of self-doubt. How should we start this conversation?
Where should we begin? I would start with the statement that any time the universe, the creator, life, presenting us with the opportunity to go to our next level, accessing aspect of our potential we never connected with, we all gonna have some level, consciously or subconsciously, self-doubt. And the key is, do I give into it? Do I buy into it, that thoughts of self-doubt? Or I'm looking at these thoughts and beliefs as even indication that this is invitation to go to my next level. I choose not to listen to it. Let me explain the why. Let me explain the why. We are able to perceive our strength, our energies, our capabilities, our ability to overcome challenges, our ability to manifest magic based on our present and our past, which is very limited comparing to our unlimited potential. So actually, when we're saying I'm about to access my next level in career or my next level in relationship or my next level of anything, Kabbalistically it means I'm here to access next level of trust of the creator and trust of my soul. But it's unknown to me, that next level. I'm not there yet. So, based on the physical senses and my present perception, I'm doubting I'm capable. If I'm not doubting I'm capable, it's already my present level that maybe I just need to express and manifest. But really, my next level, my reactive self, my natural self will doubt that I'm capable. And it's okay to have these doubts as long as I'm not buying into that. And that self doubt sometimes will manifest itself as I can't, I'm not sure, I'm scared. But sometimes we will not be able to hear the inner self doubt. It will manifest itself as I'm judging other people, procrastination, I'm not ready. It's not a good plan. Not now. And the agenda behind that inner self doubt is to stay small. In this portion of the week, we have the story how Moses sent the 12 leaders of the Israelites to check out if the land of Israel is ready for the Israelites or not. Kabbalistically, entering to the land of Israel represent entering to our next level of consciousness. Out of the 12 leaders, even though they were in a very high spiritual level, two of them saw the possibility, saw the potential, saw the light, trusted their capability in the guidance of Moses and the Creator. 10 of them said it's impossible. It's too dangerous. Moses and Aaron, you pulled us astray. You took us in a wrong path, in a wrong direction. The Zohar tells us what was the real root cause of this judgment and negativity towards Moses and Aaron? Self doubt. We don't feel we have the spiritual strength to handle this next level. In order to be able to enter to Israel, you need to have so much more spiritual strength against negativity, against fears. We are not made for that. We know how much spiritual strength we have, and that's the mistake. The attitude said, if the Creator presented me to this challenge and this next level, I don't feel I have the strength, but it's okay. I'm trusting and I'm believing beyond my logic that with the help of the Creator, He will give me the strength.
It's interesting because exactly in that section that you're talking about, there's a verse that says Moses is talking to the Creator, and Moses says something along the lines of, let's make the Israelites stronger again. Let's you and me strengthen them. Like Moses is saying, we can do it, God. You know, we're we're a team. And I think that inside that section, that reading, is a really powerful lesson for all of us in self-doubt. Moses is essentially telling the Creator, come on, buddy, we can do it. But the Kabbalists teach that that's reality, that the Creator can't reveal his light in our world without us. It's a partnership. And I lean on that teaching whenever I come to a project or a task that seems beyond me, that maybe I don't feel ready for, or it seems bigger than I'm capable of accomplishing. I remember that the light of the Creator can't force itself into anyone or any situation. We are here to give it a vessel. Our work is to create a vessel for the light of the Creator to reveal itself. It's an amazing teaching. It's like, you know, you can't pour water into a cup that has a lid, but once you open the lid, you have an open cup for it. It's our job to open the cups in this world. So that whole function of self-doubt, am I capable? Am I the right person? Is this the right time? And all the excuses we might give ourselves that are really versions or iterations of self-doubt, we have to remember that without us, the light of the Creator remains in potential. It's almost like the heavens are bulging with water and we need to drain them of that liquid, which are the blessings that we are capable of revealing. Me as an individual, the unique light that I'm here to reveal, but in general, human beings, that's really what distinguishes us from the rest of creation. Is our job is to reveal the light of the Creator in the physical reality. Pets can't do that. Trees can't do that. Even though they may be full of light, they don't have the ability to express desire and enable manifestation the way that human beings do. So that function of self-doubt, right? It has to be there. It's going to be at the start of every next level, but it's not meant to prevent us. It's meant for us to overcome, to jump over that hurdle. And I think part of it is also understanding each one of us, our self-doubt isn't necessarily going to show up as self-doubt. It may even be perfectionism. It may be fear of being judged by others. So when I look at those barriers between me and whatever is ahead of me or in front of me, to understand that that doubt is there for me to overcome, not for it to stall me. And I want to make a quick distinction, by the way. It is definitely important and healthy to go inward and ask questions. Is this the right time? Am I the right channel for this? Is there a better way to do it? Have I asked enough questions? Right? There's a difference between introspection and getting clarity and doing the internal work to prepare yourself for what you need to do versus the paralyzing questions like, I'm not even sure I can do it. What happens if I fail? There's a difference. The first set of questions are expansive and lead to growth and development. The second line of questions lead to paralysis. And that idea that you mentioned, Eitan, about wanting to stay small or stay safe or uh, do what's familiar, or a lot of people, actually the self-doubt shows up in doing things the way we've always done them. Why, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like, leave well enough alone. We have all these phrases that we use to justify not expanding and not going to the next level. And unfortunately, when we don't rise to the occasion, when we have the freedom and the luxury to make that expansion possible, sometimes the universe comes in and forces us, doesn't give us a choice, puts a metaphysical gun to our head and says, you don't have a choice anymore. This is what you have to do. And it's definitely more comfortable if we're honest about how we're looking for our comfort, it's more comfortable to do it when you can than when you have to.
Beautiful. So I want to ask you a question, Elisheva. Let's say a person have a desire to become a Hollywood star. They're not sure if it's meant for them. And they're struggling between confidence, yes, I can do it, versus self doubts. And we know Kabbalistically that maybe that's not exactly their path to be that movie star. And maybe sometime I should be open to the idea it's not for me, that particular path. So, how would you differentiate between it's not for me versus overcoming self doubt? I can do it. What will be some of the guidelines to know where it's clearly a tikkun of self doubt that I need to overcome? And I need, in the same way, someone else believe in me and say, I believe in myself with the help of the Creator, I can do it. Make the first step.
Yeah, it's a great question whether you're trying to be a Hollywood star, or you're trying to start your own small business or move up in the ranks at a company. Regardless of the arena, I think the first question I would ask myself is, why do I want this? To really check myself. And I've had this conversation with individuals before that sometimes they don't even know why. And coming to terms with your why is important because it's the seed of what you're doing. If your why is that someone told you when you were younger that you'll never amount to anything, it's time to plant a different seed, right? That seed is not going to grow strong roots and result in the fruit that you might want it to, because the seed is in lack. The seed is in limitation. And to go back and think, it's obviously not every seed starts in childhood, but if any of our intention behind what we're having self-doubt about is in limitation, it's time either to plant a new seed or to seek something else. And sometimes we do something just because it's what we've always done. I've always planned, I've spent my whole life in acting classes, and that doesn't mean that that's the best destination. So asking your why, I think, is the first step in clarifying or aligning with anything that we're standing in front of.
Beautiful. I think by asking the why, and you realize that your why is coming from soul with pure intention, actually will give you the strength to follow through. So let's bring up some of the whys that stems from ego, and as a result it's not something I need to pursue, maybe change the intention or change what I'm running after, versus explore some of the healthy whys. So let's come up with a list, some of the healthy and unhealthy why that should encourage me to follow through.
So I think one of the unhealthiest whys is I need to prove myself. I need to prove to
Beautiful.
myself. I need to prove to other people. The only part of me that needs proof is my ego. And any kind of, even if I'm trying to prove someone wrong, right? You said I couldn't do it and I'm going to do it anyway. It's not it's not soulful. It's not deep. It's not I just think that there's so much unrest when you're hustling to prove yourself or to prove someone else or to prove someone wrong, that it can never, it's like trying to force a seed to be planted in shallow water. There's too much irritation and restlessness
Beautiful.
happening.
Beautiful. So what you're saying is, as long as depending of manifesting what I want to accomplish, as long as I'm dependent, my happiness, my fulfillment is dependent on me achieving or doing or manifesting, it comes from really lack. Because true Kabbalistic wisdom, anything that you are moving, any aspect of your life that you're moving to your next level, it's really already there within you. It's not something, and that's gonna change my life. Of course, we're here to reveal our potential. What will change my life is really becoming more of a giver. Will change my life, become more control over my opponent, over my ego. What will change my life is adding more value, and not when I will receive or achieve, or I'm going to look at myself or other people going to look at myself. Okay? So let's go to some healthy whys.
It's a really good question. I mean, there's many. I think every individual needs to look inside, and when you check for your why, when your why is focused on other people, not other people in meaning acknowledgement, recognition, approval, but making a difference, adding value, expressing your unique light, and using your gifts to make a difference in your environment, in the world around you, and also long term, right? Sometimes I've seen it many times in people struggling in the workplace, that they struggle to make themselves, to continue to make themselves relevant as business and technology change, right? Everybody's worried, am I going to be, is my job going to be taken over by a robot? So we think, okay, how can I really quickly level up my game or prove my worth or my value? When you're focused on the long term, when it's not a short-term fix or a rush, an urgent call to action, when the goal is the long game and benefit for others, I think that that's a good sign that the why has longevity, has potential to be truly successful.
Beautiful. So I like it when it's actually for the sake of sharing. Another one, positive why. When you're asking why and you say it's bigger than me, it feels like the creator presented to me these situations. And if I'm really honest with this myself, it's actually more comfortable to shy away from that responsibility. But it's bigger than me. That's what presented in front of me. Actually, I have to let go and surrender. So the why is There's something bigger than me presenting this opportunity. And it's not necessarily fulfilling my limited comfort zone. It's actually, I'm facing in front of the unknown, but I choose to trust and not to control.
I,
That's another one.
I see people do that same thing, by the way, and it looks humble, right? Someone else should do it, or I'm not sure I'm qualified, when really I'm afraid to step into the spotlight, to be exposed, to be vulnerable, to take that risk. And so sometimes self-doubt can even show up as looking spiritual. Why me? Who am I? We need to really, I love this, the way that the Kabbalists share the work, it's so real. And if you pay attention to the energy every week is like a workshop. Every week gives us real focused work. And I think that's what's the beauty behind what we're sharing here, is that doesn't matter what's going on in your life. This week you have the opportunity to go inward, to go deeper, assess your why, clear the self-doubt, and move forward in whatever area of life it is.
Beautiful. So just to summarize, and maybe Elisheva, you can give us more tools how to believe in ourselves. Step number one, whenever you are facing opportunity for the next level, question the why, not for the sake of question, to clarify the true why, align with your soul desire. Is it for the sake of sharing? Is it really going to reveal more light? Or is it coming from my insecurity or from my ego? So then, when you clarify, for sure it's opportunity here. So then, give us some tools. How do you infuse, if you don't have someone next to you, and it's always good to have a friend, a mentor next to you that can support you in the directions and believing in yourself, but what is some of the statements, the journaling, the energy, the shift of mindset, the observing and telling yourself, be the bigger self and telling yourself, that can help to believe in yourself and to begin to make actions in the right direction?
Absolutely. I think the first one, the lowest hanging fruit, is do not let the way you feel define who you are. It's not that you're incapable, it's that you're experiencing doubt. So in parenting, we learn there are no bad kids, only bad behaviors. Use that same approach on yourself. You are not incapable. You may be struggling with doubt or fear or insecurity, but that doesn't define who you are. That's number one. I think we've mentioned this on episode after episode after episode. Stop waiting to feel ready. I said it just a few weeks ago. The water is always going to be cold. You might as well jump now. You you can trust yourself. You've shown up over and over and over again till now, and you will continue to show up. You've survived setbacks. You've kept promises to yourself. You've done the work. Ride on the waves of that. And when you remember those things, you develop that courage so that you don't need the certainty to be there before you dip your toe in the water. I think I know that Eitan has spoken about this on previous episodes as well. Number three, I would say, is question your line of questioning. Question that voice of doubt, right? Is this fear, do I really have something to be afraid of here? That sometimes I ask people, that inner critic, that voice that you have inside your head, would you ever speak to anyone that way, like outside of your head? What look for the evidence that contradicts what you're feeling. Like, recognize, I mean, I know if you've been listening to any period of time, you know that that voice, it's not your true voice. It's not the voice of your soul. And throwing doubt on your doubts is often the way to annihilate, to evaporate the self-doubt. And I think maybe above all else, stop comparing your inner world to other people's external presentation, right? Comparison, it's not only the thief of joy, it's the thief of progress. And when you're comparing what's going on with you to what's going on behind the scenes with other people, or even people that you look up to, you really shortchange yourself, because Nobody's process is identical to yours. You may be able to learn strategies from other people's successes, but comparing your journey to anyone else's journey is a complete and utter waste of time. So I think if we take our key opportunities for growth in this journey of self-doubt or overcoming self-doubt, I think we can only experience growth. And this week is really supporting us to do just that. I actually want to throw something out there. In about a month from now, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Eitan and I are participating in a live immersive weekend in Los Angeles, California. We want to invite all of our listeners to participate, whether you're local to Southern California or you can take a few days off and join us in Los Angeles. Michael and Monica Berg, Eitan, myself, a lot of guests that you've seen on Weekly Energy Boost, Daniel Naor, Miriam Ashkenazi, Yehuda Ashkenazi. We're going to be presenting live and interactive experiences combined with a Kabbalistic Shabbat environment. It's just, we're so excited about it. And it would mean the world to be able to meet our listeners at this life-changing event. So I'm going to link the website for information and registration in this week's episode description. You can also find all the details on weeklyenergyboost.com. We would love to see as many of you as can make it. It's worth it. It starts Friday morning around 9:30 and Sunday afternoon around 4 p.m. And it is jam-packed with wisdom, connection, experientials, breath work, meditation, astrology, like the whole, imagine a weekly energy boost weekend, if we could call it that. But it's really, it's connecting to the energy of healing and wellness. And we'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. But since we're about a month away, I wanted to make sure that if you can be there, you do register, get your flight tickets, hotel, and everything, and that you can be with us that weekend, July 3rd through 5th. I wanted to end this week's episode with a meditation from Karen Berg. We get so much feedback about how powerful it is. So if you can, you're listening and you can close your eyes, do. If not, do it later, come back to it. Take a moment, even if you're driving, take a deep breath and let these words sink in. In your meditation this week, allow powerful and balanced light to reveal to you your unique path. You are able to see that when you care about the needs of others and become a giving being, you indeed will win in the end and reach your promised land. Ask the Creator to guide you in hearing your own truth and for the help in allowing your divinity within to shine. Ask that you are protected from thoughts of fear and doubt and instead connect only to thoughts of positivity and love. The outside may give us a false report, warning us from thinking of others, but this is only designed to prevent us from becoming all who we were meant to become. Your own truth is your path to greatness. It is when we are willing to release outer distractions that we are able to discover more powerful treasures within ourselves. We each have a unique, special path and truth in this life. If we are able to hear it and then are willing to act upon it, we will merit to connect to our truest purpose and our truest joy here on earth. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us there to receive even more support in living what we speak about in every episode. You can go to weeklyenergyboost.com to learn more about the retreat I mentioned and all the other things we want our listeners to know about. You can search through our archives, send us a message, and donate to help make Weekly Energy Boost possible. But most importantly, please share this episode. Think of the people that you know that are paralyzed by self-doubt, that are hesitating, that you can see clearly how fruitful their next steps will be, and they still don't trust themselves. Be the channel for other people to step out of self-doubt and into the light. And we'll see you next week on Weekly Energy Boost.